Good morning, sir, and good morning, all the panelists. I'll be sharing my screen now.
You can keep speaking while it comes.
Yeah, so I'll be presenting my free paper. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be presenting my free paper on use of near infrared autofluorescence in type 2 macular telangiectasia. I have no financial disclosure. Uh, type 2 MACTEL is a bilateral neurodegenerative disease which affect the Muller cell, and the multimodal imaging gives the structural changes much before the visual acuity change. Fluorescent angiography, autofluorescence, blue reflectance, multicolor imaging, OCT, and OCTA gives a lot of insight into the disease. Near infrared autofluorescence, hence I'll be referring it as a NIF, has never been studied in this disease. So NIF has an excitation of 787 and emission more than 800. It gives the distribution of melanin within the RP and choroid complex. Diseases studied, there are a lot of diseases which have been studied in detail. The most important is the ARMD, and there was lipofuscin, which was fluorophore of interest for a very long time. So it was a retrospective review. We did multimodal imaging for MACTEL patients, fundus photo, multicolor imaging, blue autofluorescence, and NIF was done for these patients. My protocols were excitation at 787 and NIR images obtained at 820 nanometer. Field was 30 degrees. We included 21 eyes of 16 patients. There were 7 males and 4 females. We found 8 eyes of 6 patients with CNVM and 13 eyes of 10 patients with pigments. This is my first picture, which shows hypo around the dipping vessel. If you can see here, as I marked here, the dipping vessel hypo was more prominent on the NIF image, showing the area of compromise. This is another image which you can see. There was again the prominence around the hypo area, as I have shown here, and it also indicated the outer retinal loss as seen on the OCT. So this is the other image where you can see almost near normal blue autofluorescence, just the pigment showed hypo area, while there was a CNVM network which was noted on Octa, and the shape was exactly similar to the hyper which we saw on the NIF. This is another picture with lot of pigments intraretinal and also the migrated pigments on the top surface of the retina. We saw mixed signal. What is interesting to note in this picture is you can see this hyper AF on the BAF, which corresponded with the hypo on NIF, and we saw a rim of hyper along the area of that hypo on NIF, which indicated that this could be area of further involvement. This is another picture, very beautiful picture showing the exact similar shape of CNVM network which we see. While if you see on the BAF, it has a fuzzy border of the network. This is the picture where we saw CNVM on the OCT, and we saw that the area of AF was slightly more larger on NIF than on the BAF. Again, I'm showing the shape is almost similar to the one seen on the OCTA. There was this pigment which you can see as a hypo in the area of hyper. When we saw that there was little difference in the hyperfluorescence, hyperautofluorescence in that area, and in this area we noted a nascent membrane on OCTA, which was also proved by the FFA. Very minor leak was noted on the FFA. So foveal blue autofluorescence it was not possible to separate the hypo AF from the juxtafoveal retinal atrophy. We all know that point. And what are the features which were already there with the blue autofluorescence? There was increase in the central autofluorescence, that is the earliest noted change. As you can see in this picture, onset of atrophy, there will be further increase in the autofluorescence as you see in this picture, and the corresponding OCT of the same. When the pigment migration and clumping was there, we found a mixed pattern of AF, that is both increase and decrease, as you see on this OCT. And when there was significantly increased, there was an atrophy, as you see on this OCT. Hyfoman noted the hyper AF in NIF in cases of pigment deposition. In our series, NIF showed hypo when pigment was intraretinal. Because NIF is a wavelength dependent in spectralis, flash-based system may be better when structures are present at different level, but we are not talking about that here. If you see this OCT, there was showing the different level of pigments here and corresponding hypo image which we see on the NIF. So intraretinal migration of pigment, we found 3 in 3 eyes of 21 eyes. So what is the role of IRF in picking CNVM? Near dipping of vessels, hypo NIF seen larger than what we see on the BAF or actual collapse on OCT. may signify area of future involvement. And Heiferman told that found discordance in NIF and BF in eyes with geographic atrophy because melanolipofuscin depletion precedes the lipofuscin deposition in geographic atrophy. So hyper NIF was seen in our study with the area of CNVM, new area of involvement, early CNVM, and hypo NIF was seen in the area of pigment that was intraretinal and areas around the pigment. And I have not been studied for MACTEL to our knowledge. It provides a valuable information about the progression of MACTEL. Though there are some limitations like difficulty to get clear image due to poor signal noise ratio of image overall. So I conclude my study with NIF can delineate very well the CNVM very well. Confocal system are wavelength dependent, hence hypo AF seen despite pigments when intraretinal. And near dipping of vessels, hypo NIF was larger than BF or actual collapse on OCT, then signifying the area of future involvement. Though as I told that it is difficult to get clear image on IR. Yes. Thank you.
That was an excellent presentation. And
Thank you.
Dr. Pangarkar, would you like to comment on this?
Yes, I thought I will ask him only one thing. Where did this method score over other methods?
Sir, we actually this has not been studied, and we are looking for future prospects. So, like
So
the
could you
if
enumerate the difficulties involved in diagnosing this condition in the by the traditional methods of fundus photography?
no, sir. There was no difficulty in that, but it's just that we are giving the additional findings on the MACTEL disease, and also the further prospects are like doing the follow-up of patients. We are looking into that, and also if the stem cell therapy comes, then it can be a very good useful tool along with the blue autofluorescence to monitor the disease if what is the disease progression going on. So in that way, we are looking for the future, and also we are doing actively NIF in all the patients of MACTEL and looking into more insights what we can get through it.
Thank you.
Dr. Karthik, is it expensive? Or how will you incorporate the software and everything? Is it expensive?
No, sir, it is normally available with HRA too.
I see. No extra expense for the patient also.
No, sir, no. Usually, if we do OCT, then we do it for free for the patient.
Okay.
Thank you. Well done.